Hey everyone, welcome back to another YouTube video where I break down a market, giving you step by step my trading plan for the upcoming week on that particular market. And today we are going to talk about gold. So as you can see, I have a whole bunch of stuff marked up from last week. And if you go back to last week's video, you'll see exactly how I came up with these levels. But don't do that just yet because we are going to go through this week's. And you can see there are a lot of different moves that happen. Actually, this was last week, but a lot of moves, a lot of consolidation in this market. So I didn't trade gold all that much this week, mainly because there's a lot of choppiness. There was a lot of news and things that were happening, and I just didn't want to risk my money. So let's go ahead and get rid of the sessions indicator. And since I recently moved, I have to adjust the way that I trade, or at least the way that I trade and the time that I trade, but the analysis is still going to be the same. So let's get rid of this for right now. And then let's go ahead and go to the weekly. Let's clear all of our drawings. So let's zoom in here and take a look at what is happening on this particular market. Actually, I'm gonna get rid of that because that was an old notification for something I was looking for. So if we look at the weekly time frame, we can see that we still have this support, or actually this resistance level right here around 2414 area. And then if we go down to 2293, we do have a nice strong support actually formed here. And the thing that makes it a strong support for me is basically the fact that this week's candle closed a really strong bullish candle. You even see the body of this candle close above this candle right here. So this is a strong support, and this leads me to believe that next week we could be looking for buys, especially because of the way that this week closed. So let's go ahead and continue to mark up our chart. And one thing I am going to do is I am going to drag this line out to this other level. Is not really necessary, but I just want to see it mainly because it's right there. So let's go ahead. I do see something else, but let's go ahead and go down to the daily time frame. So as usual, what we're going to do is we're going to move our chart, and let me get rid of that. It's kind of distracting. We're going to go down to this time level and we're going to make adjustments. So one of the things when it comes to support and resistance, the market is always changing. So that means that you have to adjust your charts as necessary. You can't be rigid in your analysis. So just really quick, in the beginning, if I was marking a level here, I was creating this line. I was not moving this line for nothing. And as I got more seasoned in trading, I learned that I have to be really fluid with the way that the market is moving and be able to adjust quickly. So that's why I draw my levels like this now. So on the daily time frame, this is at 24.26. So that looks good to me, mainly because we have this resistance that has formed. We have this bullish and this bearish candle together. This forms a resistance. Likewise, on the opposite side, we have a bearish followed by a bullish candle. This forms a support. So this is pretty much what I am seeing in the market right now. If I look left, I'm also seeing, I'm also seeing some rejections. So there are 1, 2, 3 strong rejections because they're on the daily time frame, and then also a rejection right there as well. And then we also have a fake out right here, and we know that it's a fake out. Obviously you can't anticipate it, but after the fact, seeing that there was this candle, this bearish candle that closed below this strong support, or this support, and we knew it even back here. But seeing this candle close below and then the next candle closing above, that is a fake out. We can't anticipate it. It just happens. That is why every trade that we take is based on a probability and not 100% certainty. So if you're looking for certainty, trading is not for you because there is no such thing. So let's go ahead and copy this line. And then I see this support actually down here as well at 21.55 on the daily time frame. And we're just going to adjust this. I'm going to drag it out a little bit. And mainly this is a really strong support, mainly because we have all of these wicks right here that reject it. Looks good to me. So let's go down to the 4-hour time frame and make some adjustments. Okay, cool. So this level still looks good. However, I am going to move it up a little bit. And it's mainly because we have these two kind of rejections here. So we have rejection level here, or at least a spot here and then here, all at the same level at now 24.30. And we do have this level up here. I am going to mark this off, but I'm going to wait until I go down to a lower time frame in order to get more precise with that entry. And before we do that, go ahead and follow me on Instagram. If you haven't already, I like to post a lot of thoughts and ideas and things that happen throughout the day, things that I observe, and it's much quicker for me to post it on Instagram than it is for YouTube. So you see I have a lot of different topics here on Instagram. Eventually they'll be on YouTube, but for right now, you can get it right now on Instagram. So go ahead and follow me at Chart Confidence. All right, so back to this. So if I look at the way that this 4-hour time frame is looking, I am going to mark this off, but I'm going to do it on the 1 hour. And then I do see a really strong resistance level right here at 23.86. And I'm going to mark this off mainly because, let's move this over. You can see at one point, price it rejected this level. It came down, formed a support, and then it pushed back up. And then it kind of chopped around a bit, but then it came up higher than this previous lower high. Gotta say that right. Lower high, basic trading market structure, and then it created a new high. And then from this new high, it sold off once again. So I definitely want to mark that level off just in case price comes back to that level. I want to see how price reacts, and maybe it'll reject here again, or maybe it'll push up and come back into this level. So I am a zone to zone trader, and basically what that means is I like to draw these support and resistance levels, and I take my trades off of these levels. All right, so let's go ahead. Okay, so let's squeeze this in, mainly because we have all of these extra candles now. It's a little bit difficult. So let's go over to the left. And I just wanted to see this level. I am going to make a slight adjustment and move it down a little bit. Now we're around 2150 area. So that is still looking good. And then this still looks good. Actually, I'm going to move this down a little bit, this level that I drew before. Now we're at 2290. So that still looks good. We still got these rejections. It still looks good. So there's another level, now that I see it, on the H4 that I'm going to mark off. Same reason as this thing right here. We're going to mark this level off at 2332, mainly because we did create a new low in the market, but then we pulled back and then we sold off from this level again. Now you can see that price is approaching this level, and this was all, okay, no, this wasn't all today. This was pretty much all this week, and this is why I stayed away from the market, because there's no clear direction as to where the market wants to go. So for next week, it looks like price may buy up, so we're going to talk about that in a second, but I do want to mark this level off. So let's go down to the H2 time frame. I'm not going to mark off anything down here yet, mainly because price is pretty much in this area. So let's go to H2. Okay, so I'm going to keep my levels here because I feel like when I go down to H1, it's going to give me a lot more data in this area. So for right now, we're going to keep that there. This is looking really good. And then the other thing I love about this level is that when it rejected, all of these bearish candles formed. Now, I didn't catch that move. One of my trading friends did catch that move, so good for him. But this was not during my session, so that's why I didn't catch that move. But this is an incredible move, and pretty much when you see a lot of selling in the market, just know that the market is always trying to balance itself out. So you may see price on the other side move all the way up, which is why I really like this level that I drew before, because if price comes up here, then it has a higher probability of coming back to this level. So I really like that level. And then let's zoom in. This still looks fine, but I do want to mark off some levels. Let's zoom in because now it's a little hard to see. Okay, that looks good. So I do see a level. See, I'm trying to figure out if I want to draw off this level or this level. So the thing that I'm debating in my mind right now is I see this wick, and basically when you see a really big wick like we see right here, it means that price came to that point, decided, nope, don't want to be there, and then it reversed. And then on the opposite side, going up, it was kind of in the same zone. But I am going to mark off this level around 2235. And then maybe we'll see some more information on the H1 timeframe that'll give us a better sense of how we should approach this level. But I like this level because it pushed up, came back, retested, and then continued up. So that's why I like this level. And I'm trying to debate whether or not, yeah, I think I want to do it. Okay, so the thing I was debating was whether or not I wanted to put a level right here around 2270, and it's mainly because if we zoom in, it's getting a little tough, but if we zoom in, we can see right here price did the same thing. It came up, retested, and then continued up. Now it didn't push up, it pushed up higher than this part, but it didn't, which is also known as a higher high, but it pushed up higher than this higher high and created a new higher high, came back to retest this level, but then it came back even further and tested this level before pushing up. So that's why I wanted to draw off this level. And then just going back a little bit here, like I said, we had this break, retest, and then it pushed up. So that's why I like this level. So let me see. Okay, this is looking good. So now let's go down to H1 and get more information. Let's reset our chart because now we are zoomed way in. Let's see, there's some levels. There we go. Okay, cool. So this was that level where I said I wanted to wait and see what it looked like on the H1. So the way I want to play this is I actually want to move this up to 2430. And then I also want to draw another level. Let me get my box. I want to draw a level right at this 2450 level. And it's mainly because this is the highest point this market has ever made, and it just totally reversed. So I definitely want to, if price comes back up here to 2430, if I see my entry signal, then I definitely want to take it and ride it up. But if we look at most recent price action way over here and down here, we're nowhere near that just yet, but I do want to have that marked off because as we know, just any news catalyst or any crazy thing in the market can send the gold market shooting up or down for seemingly no reason. So I definitely want to mark that off. So my game plan for this upcoming week, now that I have all of my levels drawn, so one thing I want to see is I want to see price come back above here, and then I want to buy it all the way up here to 23. It looks like 2387 level. That's where that big rejection started. And then I also want to, let's see, we'll come back to this because I kind of don't want to trade this mainly because it's really choppy, but we do have a clean area in here that I may be interested in. So actually, let's just mark it off right now. So I'm going to take a different line and I'm going to mark this off. So right now, let's zoom in so that way you can get a sense of what I'm trying to do here. Okay. So one of the things that I see is basically I see this really big support. Water just went everywhere. Anyway, real time. But anyway, we see this really big push up, and then we also see the support, and then we also see price making a higher high, and then we also see price heading towards this 2338 level. So the reason why I want to mark this off is because this is a nice support level. And like I talked about earlier in this video, this is a strong support level to me because this candle, it doesn't look like one of these candles where you have a really tiny body and mostly wick. This is a healthy body candle. So if price stays above this level, then I definitely want to buy. But if price goes below this level, then I definitely want to sell. So this is how I'm going to mark this off. So basically, I'm just going to put a little arrow right here because if price stays above, I want to buy. And then, of course, that area that I'd be buying to would be from roughly this level all the way up to this resistance level right here. And then if price goes down, let's go ahead and mark off the downside. I see this, like this is going to be the strongest level right here. It's going to be the strongest mainly because we have this really huge bearish engulfing candle, and then we pretty much have price reverse from here, which is why I want to mark this off. And I remember seeing this, but I wasn't confident in taking this trade, mainly because I talked about this on Instagram, but when it comes to me taking bounce trades, and this is basically price bouncing off a level and then going up, my win rate is not as high. I am doing things to work on that for that particular setup, but typically when I wait, maybe entry right here, that is usually much stronger for me. But I think by the time I saw this, the move had already taken off and I was not chasing the trade. So that is one thing that I'm looking at. And then right here, like I said, if price comes down here, this could be a correction move. Basically, like I talked about earlier, when you see really strong selling, or in this case, strong buying. Chances are, if price comes below here, we're going to see really strong selling about to this level. So I definitely want to mark this off inside of my charts. So I'm just going to do that. And then let's zoom out a little bit. So this is pretty much the immediate game plan. And if we look, let's see, this zone, I probably wouldn't be interested in taking this trade, mainly because the range doesn't look like it's that much. 60 pips, 67 pips. Okay, so maybe. So let me go ahead and mark this up. But this would be a trade from here to here. And then if price comes down here, I would want to trade from here to here. So this here stuff I'm saying. So basically it would be starting from 23.25 going down to 23, roughly 2300, and then from 2300 down to about 2290, and then from 2290 all the way down to about 2272. So I think that's pretty much going to be it for me right now. And then of course, as I talked about earlier, kind of alluded to, if price goes above 20, actually start here, if it goes above 23, 30, 38-ish area, then I'll buy it up to 23.87, and then from 23.87 all the way up to these highs, getting close to the all-time highs. So this would be up to 24, roughly 30. So that looks good to me. So pretty much this is my game plan for the upcoming week on gold. Of course, be really fluid because the market is always changing. And good luck, and I'll see you next time.